How's it going, everyone? It's Calumity here, and today we are talking about a game that is on the PC, and I'm not sure what else it's on, but I do know it's on the PC because that's what I played it on. We're talking about Dimension Tripper Neptune Top Nep. This is a part of the Hyper Dimension Neptunia series, but instead of being a JRPG like they usually are, this one is actually an on-rail shooter, and it's very arcadey, and it's a lot of fun, and it looks really, really good. Graphically, it's a gorgeous game. The pixelized characters, the pixelized environments, it all looks so well done. The pixelized monsters, the boss fights that you face, everything about it is so well designed. The actual audio design is really good. The gameplay is super smooth, and it's just an amazing experience. But it is a very short experience, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Top Nep is an on-rails shooting game. Think something like Star Fox 64. It's a very fun game. It's very well designed, and you basically are flying through 5 levels. And these levels go by pretty quick, but they really are well designed, and I can't help but really love this game, even though it's short. So, you have 5 levels. You can beat this game if you play on normal mode. I think I beat it in 15 minutes, so it's very short. I played it on hard mode too and beat it in about 45 minutes doing it that way, because hard mode took me a few more extra tries, because in hard mode you only have 1 life. But I have to say, though, even though it's pretty short, it has a ton of replay value, because it really is just basically an arcade shoot-'em-up game. And I really like some of the things that they decided to do in this game. So not only do you control the main character, but as you are controlling just this one character, you can pick up coins on each level. And if you pick up enough coins to fill the bar in the bottom right corner, it will actually give you a wingman. And you can have 2 wingmen at a time, which is pretty cool. And it really helps for when you are in those boss fights. And the nice thing about having wingmen is that if they get hit, it doesn't obviously cause any damage to you, so it doesn't mess you up or anything. But they can also, even though they can't be hit by enemies or anything like that, they still can grab things themselves. So if there's a coin and you can't reach it, you can use your wingman and swing over and use them to get the coin instead, because they're still able to pick things up. So, pretty cool idea. I'm glad it works so well. And overall, I just really like the fact that they put all of these Hyperdimension Neptunia characters in this game and figured out a way to make it just so cool, and they did it so well, and I'm just so happy with the way that this game turned out. Before you get to the boss fight, you will play through a level where there's a bunch of smaller minions that are coming at you, and coins to collect and stuff like that. And this is a high score style game, so you do want to try to take out as many of these minions and collect as many of these coins as you can get, because that gives you more points towards your high score. But not only that, you also want to try to get all these coins before the boss fight, because you probably will want those wingmen when it comes to the actual bosses themselves, especially when you're on hard difficulty, because those boss fights will be a little bit more difficult. Now, if you get to the final boss and you're able to defeat them on normal mode, it will actually give you all your hearts back, making it a lot easier. If you play on hard mode, it will not give you all your hearts back. I think it gives you half a heart back, so it definitely makes it more difficult. However, when you do defeat the final boss on hard mode, let me tell you, you get a real sense of accomplishment. It feels great, and I had an absolutely just this is a game that I will never forget. It's a game that I will go back and play multiple times, because this is just a really fun shooter game. Now, the music for this game is also really good. I love the music. I love all the sound. They did a great job with all of the sound design. The graphics look great. Each area looks completely different and unique. Each boss fight also feels very unique. They didn't copycat, each boss. It feels like they tried their best to make each one feel very unique, and they did a great job doing that. And they're not too difficult. When you play on hard mode, I feel like they're perfectly balanced. If you play on normal mode, you may find it a little bit easy, but when you play on hard mode, I feel like they did a great job of balancing the boss fights, because they never feel like they're too easy, or you never feel like you get cheated. They do a good job of being giving you kind of a tell of what the enemy's going to do. They give you kind of a moment to see what the enemy's going to do, and you have a chance to dodge it, and you just may not be quick enough to dodge it, or you just may, take what they're doing, you may read it wrong, and you may think that they're doing something else. There's few things that you can do, but you'll never really feel like it's the game's fault. You'll always feel like, oh, that was something I should have done better. I messed that up. It's not the game's fault. That's on me. So that's kind of nice that I never felt like the game was, like cheating me or something like that. It always felt fair, and that's something that I really appreciate. The boss fights are really fair. Each boss fight has a tell before it's about to hit. Like, it will start moving its arm or something in a certain direction. You have time to get out of the way. So it doesn't feel like it's doing anything cheap. It doesn't feel like there's any really cheap deaths in this game, so that's good. And the enemies design, just the regular enemies as well, they also have very unique abilities and unique things that they do. And they have unique movements even, and all sorts of different stuff like that. And they did a good job even just making all the grunt enemies feel unique. They did a very good job of just doing that. You face all sorts of different enemies, from the slimes that you would see in the regular series to these giant knights in metal armor, to these weird looking wolf creatures that are running at you. And they all feel different. They all have a unique thing that they do, and none of them are particularly difficult, but it does keep the game fresh on each level when you see all these different types of enemies popping up. Overall, I think that this game is worth it. Even though, yes, it's a short game, this game is only $5. I mean, for $5, you are getting a fantastic game that has plenty of replay value, especially if you're willing to play on a hard mode, which I think is actually the best way to play this game. You can play on whatever mode you want. Obviously, I don't think it really matters. You do what you want to do. But I will say, on hard mode, I feel like this game is where it really feels perfect. It really feels like on hard mode, this is like that's the way it was almost meant to be played, just because of how well balanced it is on hard mode. I highly recommend you check out Hyperdimension Top Nep, or Dimension Tripper Neptune Top Nep. I don't know why they named it so strange. Dimension Tripper Neptune Top Nep. I don't know why they didn't just call it Hyperdimension Neptune Top Nep, but whatever. Weird name aside, it's a good game, and I definitely think that you should play it. It's a beautiful game, it's a very well balanced game, and it is a really, really fun game, so check it out. I actually played through it with the Neo Geo controller, and let me tell you, it plays well with a retro-style controller. So if you want to try a retro-style controller on this thing, give it a shot, because there's not a whole lot of buttons on this game anyway. There's obviously just the button to make your character move around, there's a button to shoot long range, and you have a sword attack, and that's basically it. So it's perfect for retro controllers if you want to use a retro controller, and I'm glad I used my clicky-clackety Neo Geo controller. I'll talk to you next time. Go check out Top Nep. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.